Hey everybody, Kale here. Welcome back. So today's question is going to be, where are you seeking relief instead of reality? Where are you seeking relief instead of reality? And the card we pull is the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. And eights represent movement, and pentacles are material manifestation and how thoughts become form. Okay, that's going to represent money, body, work, stability. Okay, and so this is the movement of material manifestation. Eight of Pentacles, the movement of material manifestation. So again, with the question of where are you seeking relief instead of reality, pulling the Eight of Pentacles, what that means for me is it really brings up the question, where are you seeking for something specific to to manifest or to come into being purely for the sake of movement and change, because the thing you really want is taking a while to take form or to take shape. Okay, so it's an opportunity to really refine, and clarify and purify our desires here with that. So that way we're staying in alignment with ourselves, we're staying in integrity and in truth, recognizing that, perhaps we're just seeking something else. We're seeking that change, we're seeking movement, we're seeking relief, we're seeking something, just putting our hopes, and not quite dreams, but putting our hopes and our peace and our relief into this thing where it's just like, oh man, like I just need this to happen. And we become willing to take a lesser thing, not in an arrogant way or like we think we're above it, but in the way that it's not really the thing that's for us per se, or even for like our highest good, or towards our greatest alignment. And that doesn't mean that, in moving that direction things won't inevitably, come into being, or that, there's purpose and meaning in it, and any sidestep. And what resonates as true as a message coming through with this card today is that, you know, there's an opportunity to actually, like, not go into that thing. Let that thing pass you by, to be clear about what your motivations are for why you're seeking it. And it can be really hard when we're in this period or process that is taking a while, and it can be painful, and we just need it to move along faster. Okay, so just being clear on that. And let's see, what else do I have? What aspects of this might be, again, you kind of jumping ship to the safer thing or to the easier thing. And again, like, nothing wrong with that. No intention here around shame, or you know putting anybody down for it. It's not meant, this message isn't meant for the person whose truly best interest it is to sidestep and to take a break, and to, move in a different direction, because that really is what's better for your heart, mind, body, soul, your nervous system at this time. It's not that. This is meant for the people who actually, it is in your best interest to stick with it, and to make a pivot and make a change into the pattern. Almost kind of like, here's the moment where you always kind of give up or give in, and this is actually the moment where you buckle down and keep going. Okay, and you don't go into that other direction, even though everything inside of you wants to. Okay, that's really who I'm speaking to. So, I trust that you can discern that which one is for you. The one that's for you is not going to feel like guilt. Okay, the one that's for you, when I mentioned, quick the discernment moment here for those who are trying to, like, clarify, like, well, what is true for me, and what is that intuition. When I speak to, like, hey, there's a group of people where it's like like there's relief here, like moving in this direction is going to be right for you. You need that. That's going to feel relieving to you. It's going to feel relieving, and the thing's going to happen, that is going to provide that. um if it's not going to be missed, it's not going to feel quite as questioning when I say. And then there's some of you though that normally do that, and this is not the time for that, that normally would try to sidestep. And when that moment's right to do that, great. That if you're over here, great. But there's a group here, and that's who I'm speaking to, which is like, this is not that moment. And it's a different moment to go deeper. That's going to resonate as true. It's going to resonate more of kind of like that kind of like gut check of like, oh yeah, he's right. That it's gonna feel, the word, like a conviction. It's gonna land like, oof, yep, mm-hmm. And you'll know that. And so, yeah, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna check in and see if there's anything else around that to help anyone clarify. For some of you, there's gonna end up being relief like when you, like, with that kind of conviction moment, and then like as we continue the rest of this reading and you see different ways to move forward, that in its own self is going to feel relieving, right? Because essentially, some of the questions, well, I get ahead of myself. Pause that. There's going to be an aspect that actually does bring relief. For those who feel like, okay, chances are, for those who are like, yes, like I do just need this relief, I can feel that, and like there is currently an opportunity that could provide that, and you're like, I don't know if I should take it, if I'm bailing on it. I don't know. I mean, like, are you bailing? Like, honestly, like, are you bailing, or is this like actually a supportive moment where maybe it takes a little bit longer, for this thing to come about, but like whatever this entry of this other thing that can kind of help, in the interim period, it's actually going to be getting you farther. The way your body and nervous system is going to feel, like there's a space here, I feel like, where you're like, oh, like if someone could just give me permission that this is okay, like I feel like this is really the direction I'd like to move in. Yeah, that's for you then. That's for you. Okay. Give yourself all the permission. And something that feels expansive, it's something that feels supportive. And if it ends up not being the thing, you'll figure that out and be like, all right, nope, that I learned that now. I learned what that felt like, and now on to the next, or maybe it's back to this. But there's something there for you in that. If it feels like, gosh, I like, not only do I wish I would have this relief, but I actually feel really supported in that, and whatever this other thing is. Okay, I trust. I'm not going to keep going into that. I trust that will be more clear. Sit with it, do your thing. And going back to this aspect of relief that can come for those who are actually in that process of like, oh no, we're gonna commit here more, like, because it's not just relief. Because here's the difference, is that other thing, right? When you're in the camp over here, going elsewhere is not going to necessarily be supportive in the way that you think, more than likely. um and it doesn't mean it's bad or wrong, but it's maybe not quite the same support as what we've got going on over here. So I'm going to get deeper into that, which is, with this Eight of Pentacles. Okay, the poem that was associated with the card is: busy work, creative glow, life's a buzz when you flow. Heartfelt work comes on quick. Know thyself, it does the trick. Okay, so this card really is about knowing yourself, knowing, where you are in your process, being honest with yourself about what's going on, honest with what you know. Okay, a question that comes is, how can you reinvest and refocus, or refine your vision? How can you reinvest in, or refocus your vision? How can you refine your vision? What can bring, fresh energy, and what can bring the fresh energy and movement you're looking for? Um, Remember, this came up not too long ago, that like the smallest pivots can make the biggest difference at times. We don't always need a huge overhaul. Sometimes it's like, okay, what's anchoring me now? Like where is my energy and momentum, right? Because like maybe something's kind of been lost and it's like it's not there for this, but like where is it? And is there a way to marry the two? Like, is there a space where there's a change and transition right now that's happening, um, in how you navigate what you're navigating, right? So sometimes that aspect of like stuckness, or that like, gosh, it's taking a long time. And then like when we kind of start running out of that perseverance, we start kind of running out of steam with it. It's because it's like, wow, we don't have that like fresh, revitalized energy that like helps us keep moving, keep moving forward. And so maybe there's an aspect that there's actually kind of a change right now, and it's reconfiguring and giving yourself that time and attention and conscious attention towards like, okay, where am I? And taking stock and being really honest about where your heart is, like what's your muse right now, and seeing like, okay, is there a blend here, and allowing ourselves for that shift and that change, right? Like this is craftsmanship, this is right work, this is artisanship. Okay, this card is all about going deeper into your craft, into discipline, into refinement, into embodied practice, into repetition. Okay, so it's kind of like there's an aspect here for some of us on this journey where it's like we're gonna keep going. Like that's where it is. And occasionally like take the breaks that you need to like recharge, but like it's not just ending. Like sometimes like we want to jump ship, but like that's not happening here, right? It's different from aspects where it's like, oh, this is a supportive, again, sidestep, a supportive addition. This is a reconfiguring over here, and see which one you're in. I mean, in a way, this is relevant. This can be speaking to kind of two groups of people in terms of how to navigate the moment, right? Because if you're kind of trying to figure out which one you are, either one could be a viable option. You just have to sort out like, okay, like what's my truth here, and what's really going to be ultimately the most supportive thing for me. All right. Let's see what else. Yep, this is a moment to go deeper instead of giving up. If you're over in this camp, it's going deeper instead of giving up. If you're in this camp, it's a moment to give yourself permission and to like step back, let it take a lot of time, let it expand. And this over here is a lot of refinement. Not too much. We're not overdoing or being excessive about the refinement. It's just like that fine tuning that allows us to get that spark back, because it's there. It's already there and waiting. It's not something you have to create or come up with. It's just giving that time to like sit down and maybe like write it out, like where you're at, what has the most energy and momentum right now, and seeing like, okay, see, like, okay, can I connect the dots here, right? And like the spark is already there, so then it's just opening yourself up to the field to like identify that spark. And it can be incredibly helpful, like to have this, to know that like that's kind of the direction. It's helpful to like close the door on this over here when you're like, okay, yep, like this is a situation, like there isn't another option at the moment, or maybe something will come, but right now this is how it is. So that means there must be something here for me in that, right? Yeah. Let's see. Taking pleasure in what you do. All right, that's it for like this card specifically. I did pull from my Astral Realms Crystal Oracle deck, and just to gain additional support. And the card that I had ended up pulling ended up being card number 13, the card of Calcite, which is the card of transition. Perfect. Okay, and I'm just going to read from the book here for that. So it says, and it also associates with the moon. All right, and it says cycles, shift, and recharging. A spiritual transition is a wake-up call from your higher self, urging you to evolve and blossom from what you are to what you will become. This time of spiritual transition can come to you in many forms that you may or may not have recognized. You feel the need to become deeply connected to your inner self and understand your emotions. You feel a shift in your priorities and beliefs. You feel a call to trust your intuitive self and receive messages from your guides. You feel or experienced some major life changes that have prevented you from transitioning in a new direction. Okay, it says, take some lessons from the moon. how she waxes and wanes, and use her feminine energies to invoke intuition and impart wisdom during every 28-day lunar cycle. Each phase of the moon has major significance and specific vibrational frequencies that will accompany you on your spiritual transition. They are a representation of your soul's natural cycle of birth, death, and rebirth in your human experience. Okay, and then it says, during your spiritual transition, calcite will be your companion. It is an amplifier of energies and is known to be a stone for development, building confidence, and promoting spiritual growth. Calcite purifies and clears out negative energies, not only from your person, but also from your surrounding environment. It will absorb toxic energy and negativity and align all your chakras, allowing white light to flow through without resistance and connecting you more deeply to your higher self. All right, and it says, as an activation guidance, it says, begin to study each cycle or phase of the moon and journal how each phase makes you feel mentally, emotionally, energetically, and physically. After enough cycles, you will begin to see a pattern and learn the best times to take action during your spiritual transition. And the quote says, or like affirmation is, I accept the ebb and flow of my spiritual transition. So I know that added a lot. For some that might like resonate really well and others not so much. But what I take from that regardless is that this is a shift for you. Okay, there's a shift happening. There's supportive energies around you. This is a change in pattern. Okay, this is again a moment to be able to go deeper into commitment. It's a moment to expand. It's to really accept all that's available for you for support. Being intentional, being really conscious and intentional. And just noticing like, okay, how am I changing here and what's required of me? You know, what do I need during this time? And just really getting almost like the craftsmanship of your journey, you know, and the discipline and the refinement just of your journey, not only in the thing that you're doing, but just in yourself, right? Of like, okay, like I'm refining this. I'm getting more discipline in like how I navigate process, right? And paralleled with that, in order to keep it balanced, it also requires a greater deal of joy and play and openness, right? And an ability to allow ourselves to be flexible. It's like the closer and like more refined we get, there also seems to be this like parallel need to become increasingly flexible so we can be open and available to the shifts and changes and the pivots that need to be made. Okay, and then I also pulled from the Green Witches Oracle deck, and just again additional support, and we got the B, okay, which is community, cooperation, and sweetness. Card meaning: bees inspire thoughts of sweetness and community. Bees work together, functioning in cooperation with others to advance the health and safety of their entire hive. Communication is central to this goal. In the end, through hard work and service to others, they create something pure and sweet: honey. It's the sweetness of honey that reminds us to be kind to others. The B card asks you to consider if you feel fulfilled and connected in your relationships, or if you need to communicate your needs to others more. Remember to be kind whenever you can, and to meet any challenge with an open heart. And the reflective question is, what part of your life needs clearer communication? How can you work more effectively with others? And I think that this is particularly fitting just around, again, this change, this transition, this support. And to me, the call is, you know, what partnerships, connections, collaborations can you like lean into right now? What's there and available to support you? Is there anyone you're wanting to reach out to? Is the collaboration itself the shift? You know, are you no longer going it alone? You know, or is reaching out? Is there a mentor? Is in general seeking support the deeper aspect that you're sinking into, right? And just kind of like talking and being in community, you know, whatever that, however that is for you, but recognizing at the end of the day, you know, you are part of this system, and in some form or fashion, support is available in here for you. And what might it be that you need in order to just experience greater support at this time, you know, or simply, you know, to bring balance to the experience, like what community, what is your community and your close-knit community that you can feel supported in. Okay, so yes, that's what we've got. That is what we've got. Good messages all the way around. So, wishing you well, friends. Quick check, making sure I've got everything. Connection, connection, connection. That's the word. All right. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. Over and out.